Hi, millionaires in training. For those of you who aren't millionaires yet, which some of you are, woot woot. So I was supposed to do a training this week. I was supposed to do it on Thursday, and I kept putting it off, and I kept forgetting, and I kept missing it. And then I got to the end of my day, and I realized I hadn't done it yet. And I just realized this morning why. It's because I don't want to teach on that this week. Hi, Liliana. Hi, Connie. It's because I want to talk about what's going on in the planets right now. For lack of a better word, shit's fucked up. It is turning us upside down. Hi, Shelly. Upside down and inside out. For those of us who are connected with any kind of energy that's going on. So I wanted to tell you why, because I am certainly feeling it. And it's funny because I was only going to talk about Chiron, which is a planet that's in retrograde right now. But as I started to look up all of the planets that are in retrograde, I was like, oh, no wonder we are all messed up. Again, you might not be. And if you're not, this doesn't apply to you. And congratulations, you can go. But if things are really hard for you, if you're finding that you're finding a hard time, like controlling your temper, everybody around you seems to be so snappy. Hi, Ellen. Everything is like going weirdly. Everything just feels off. And you're like, where is my ground? Where is my foundation? Hi, Michelle. You're going to find out right now. Now, I'd like to preface this by letting you know I am not by any means an astrologer, but I have a shamanic evolutionary astrologer that I consult with incredibly often, and it's just given me a better understanding of cycles and transits. They're called transits. Hi, Shannon. Welcome. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. What? I received that. And what happens when we go through a transit, and the possibilities for trauma. And since this is going on, and since I'm facing it, I thought that I might as well share it with you guys. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 planets in retrograde. Okay. There are only 12. Wait, are there 12? Are there 9? I don't know. I forget. 12 planets? I don't know. I'm not super into physics. If anybody knows how many planets we are, feel free to let me know. Hi, Tamar. Hi, Stephanie. So we have 6 planets in retrograde right now. Hey, Amber girl. Good to see you. And I'm going to go through each of the planets, what each of them represents, what retrograde means, and why everything is so freaking weird. Oh, Tamar, Stephanie and I were talking about you yesterday. We love you. You're awesome. Okay, so Jupiter is in retrograde. Saturn is in retrograde. Uranus, actually Jupiter just moved out, but we're still in the shadows, so we're still feeling it. Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and Chiron. All of these planets are in retrograde right now. What does it mean when a planet is in retrograde? It means that whatever that planet represents, we're on the shadow side of it. So each planet, hi Annie, each planet represents a variety of characteristics and kind of elements of the human struggle and kind of existence, right? And when we're in retrograde, we go through the shadow version of that, which means we're pulling out all of the darkness, the ickiness, the wounds. We're looking at them. We're having to heal. We're being confronted by people. We're having to, it's gross, right? When we're in retrograde, it's very uncomfortable. It's necessary because we have to heal the things that are going on in our deeper psyche, not just on a personal level, but on a planetary level as well. We have to heal that stuff, otherwise we can't get to that life that we constantly dream about and shoot for. We'll still feel that emptiness, that void on the inside, because we're not actually healing it. We're just putting band-aids on it. We ain't about that life. That's not what we do here. Okay, so Jupiter is the planet of strength, expansion, authority, and knowledge. Okay, so if you're in a place in your life that you're trying to expand, and you're trying to be strong, you're being tested because we're in a retrograde. So you're being tested. Every time you try to expand, you might be being blocked. Hi, Jennifer. Every time you try to show your strength, you might be being challenged. If you're in any kind of position of authority, your authority is being challenged right now. People are trying to undermine you. Your knowledge is being questioned and tested. Okay, so that's what it means when Jupiter is in retrograde. It's like you feel like you're bumping up against a wall or a bunch of walls that are around you, and you're just trying to expand. You're just trying to grow beyond that. Then we have Saturn. Now, Saturn's very interesting. Saturn is the planet of social order, of conformity, of limitations, of schedules. Saturn is very like regimented. It's the patriarch, by the way. Saturn is the patriarch of the planets. It's the dad. And it definitely has that patriarchal feeling. The patriarchal feeling is very like religious doctrine, very conformity based, very like, you gotta do what you're told, you should obey. And when we're in the retrograde of Saturn, because Saturn is retrograded, hey Amanda, hi Diane, what's happening is that all of our systems, all of our limitations, everywhere where we thought that we had gotten something like kind of neatly set up, or like just the way that we wanted it, so that everything was kind of flowing the way it's supposed to, right? Because we hilariously think we have control over anything at all except for ourselves. It's just super cute. Saturn goes into retrograde and confronts every single one of those systems and that social order. Everywhere, hi Karen, everywhere we have been conforming, Saturn is pushing our buttons. It's going, and we're having to look at any wounding or shadows that we have around conformity, limitations, social order. And all you have to do is take a little glance around the world to see how this is manifesting on a global scale, right? Everybody is questioning the conformity. Everybody is questioning the social order. Some people are fighting for it and questioning the question, and some people are like, are like bucking it, right? But we're absolutely questioning the social order. Then we have Uranus. Uranus is a really interesting planet because it's the planet of innovation, of revolution, and of radical mental and metaphysical change. So what that means is Uranus comes in and it reforms and revolutionizes our lives, whether we want it to or not, by the way. We don't have a choice in this matter. Uranus comes in and goes, oh, it's time for an upgrade. And we're like, but I'm fine, thank you. And Uranus is like, that's tough. Okay, so Uranus pushes us outside of our boundaries, and it's happening in Taurus, which is bad news bears. Because number one, Taurus as a general sign does not care for change, okay? Doesn't care for change. But it also is the representation of money and love. Yes, exactly, Michelle. I saw that too. Yes, exactly. So Uranus is really testing all of our boundaries in money and in love. It is tipping everything upside down. Relationships are ending with a bang out of nowhere. Finances are either crumbling or exploding, right? Because Uranus is the planet. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate that. It's the planet of radical change. And it's retrograded, so it's gonna really push on all of our limiting beliefs and all of our wounds around love and around money. Neptune. Okay, so as I was looking these up, I know what Uranus is and I know what Chiron is, but I really didn't know what any of the other planets were, and I know what Saturn is because Saturn and I are diametrically opposed. I am not a huge fan of Saturn. Neptune actually is my favorite planet because it's kind of like the planet of metaphysicality. It's the planet of spirituality. It's the doorway to other worlds. It's the deepest beauty and the deepest pain all in the same space. It's like where myth and legend meet humans. It's absolute beauty and absolute disappointment. So Neptune being in retrograde is really calling us to take a look at all of our blocks, all of our limitations. We have the possibility, guys, to download information, downloads, to receive energy from not only just the cosmos, from the universe, but from multiple different planets, from solar systems, from universes. We have the ability to download a lot of different things, but we block ourselves, right? So Neptune being in retrograde is really asking you to question, where are you holding yourself back? And if you refuse to answer that question, it is confronting you with different situations that make you look at that, okay? Pluto, just like Michelle said, is the great revealer. So before a big reveal, there's usually a dark night of the soul. And it basically is the purging of the mind. It exercises all the junk, so it gets all the junk out. And it reveals our deeper powers and our core truths. It is the essence of creative destruction. So Pluto is kind of a dark planet, but it's like one that's for our highest good. And it's in retrograde right now, which means that it's really going to push us to the edge of our boundaries. Then we have Chiron. Chiron is the spiritual, is the wounded healer. Chiron represents the wounded healer. It represents our deepest spiritual wounds and our greatest spiritual strengths. And that is also in retrograde right now, which means we're being challenged and tested on all fronts. Okay, so what does that mean to you? Hi, Teresa. Hi, lovey. What that means to you guys is that things are really hard right now and you're not making it up. The universe has set it up in this way. There is a massive purging going on, right? Jupiter is testing your strength. Saturn is testing your boundaries and your tendency to conform with social order. Uranus is demanding spiritual, radical revolution. Neptune is saying, what are you blocking yourselves? Your money and love relationships are falling to pieces, or they're expanding at a massively growing rate. Pluto is forcing you to confront where you have spiritual gifts that you're not showing up as, and where you have spiritual wounds that you refuse to deal with. And Chiron, actually Chiron is doing that, and Pluto is showing you your deepest core truths and revealing your powers. But they're all doing it at the same time. Which is, yeah, totally. In your own timing, babe. It's Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning. I don't know. Wherever you are in the world. So that's really intense. It's really intense. We're being called to look at everything. We're having all of our associations with the world turned inside out and upside down. All of our relationships are being challenged. All of our wounds are being exposed. Confronting situations are coming up that make us look at the stuff that we're holding on to. And it sucks. It's painful. It's uncomfortable. So I give you permission to be mad about it. Hi, Marianne. I give you permission to feel your discomfort. And I wish I could say it's going to be over soon, but it's not. It's going on until January. So more importantly, like, strap in. Like, put your seatbelt on. Grab some provisions. Get like 3 journals so you can have them in your home, so you can write about a lot of the uncomfortable stuff that you're experiencing right now, because it's not going to let up just yet. Okay? So you're not crazy. You didn't cause this. I mean, you kind of did by coming to the planet, but you don't remember choosing that, so we're not going to hold it against you. And there are lots of things that you can do in order to preserve your sanity right now. If you need a little bit more guidance than just this, please reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. I'm happy to hold your hand during this very stressful and trying time. I'm not going to do it for you. I'm not going to carry you, but I will absolutely hold your hand and see you and witness you and give you some of the steps that you can take in order to make it through this time. So much love to you. Have an amazing weekend. Anything else that you wanted me to share? You're not alone. Your team has your back. You may feel alone, but you're not. Your team is surrounding you with love. I'm surrounding you with love. This is shitty, but sometimes to move through something, you just literally have to just keep pressing forward. Just have to keep moving forward. That's it. Not sometimes, always. That's the only option. Just keep moving forward. If you need some suggestions on how, you can pop a question under this video in our group, or you can PM me directly, and just putting so much love and light around you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hi, Lou. Bye, Lou. Bye, everybody.